Well, friends, I've already got a start on the flooring. I didn't do too much without you. I took some of the lateral bracings and a few stray 1x6s I had around here. They've aged a little bit, and got started with my flooring. But got started with those, and now I've got these 13-inch wide ones here that should span across here pretty quickly. I will be spraying the bottoms of them with biphen before I put them down, just to deter pests from boring into them. I don't care what anybody thinks. I think it's an excellent idea. I'm not going to be eating off the floors. Once it dries, it's going to be fine. Anything the pest control companies use to spray in your homes for termites and roaches and all manner of insects. So that's what I'll be doing. Anyway, I'm going to quit yapping and we're just going to get started. Alright, I kind of didn't show a whole lot of that process. I didn't think I needed to. It's just a bunch of repeat, hammer and nail. Put another board down, hammer, nail. But man, this is a real solid floor. And this is just the subfloor. It's all said and done. Like I mentioned, I'll put plywood on the inside and linoleum. But these 13-inch boards really covered this pretty quickly. But that's pretty good. I'm going to spray this down with biphen. I already done the underside of the boards as I put them down. Now that I got this swept off, I'll spray this and leave it alone. Got the first wall framed up. I'm going to stand it up now and tack it in place and check for level. Alright friends, a little explanation here in the break. Got the back wall up. It's on 2-foot centers. My dad would roll over in his grave if he saw me building anything on 2-foot centers. He was a 16 center guy. But for what it's going to be plenty enough. We're on 2-foot centers, of course, until we got right here up against that 6x6, and then made a little short section. But let's see how we made out. Oh boy, we're dead level. How about that? Dead level. All right. That's pretty good. Alright friends, I went ahead and finished this one wall up. Done. You saw where I stood the wall up. Now I came outside and put my lateral strips on that the board and batten is going to be nailing to. And you'll see how that worked out. They wound up flush with the post. So that board and batten will sit on that and be flush. And that's how it worked out. Up here, by doing that, that makes the top of my wall the same width as that 6x6 post. And over here, I can cut those same rafters, those same angles, and it'll sit right on here. Put one rafter right over the top of every stud, transferring the weight down. And putting those lateral strips really stiffen that wall up. So that's one of the reasons I didn't mind going 2-foot centers, because I knew I was going to be doing this with 1.5 inch thick. Those are 1.5 inch thick, and probably about 3.5 inches wide. So you can see how I tied all that in. I'll take you back down here and explain to you again how the bottom will work out. We've got as you can see, that is flush. The board and batten will rest right here, 3/4, 3/4 with a 1/4 inch band. The band will be a 1/4 inch proud. And I'll put drip edge right down here. Probably put a 1/4 inch spacer up under the board and batten, so there'll be just a little gap for water to make sure it drains out. Yeah, that just really stiffened that wall up. And I may even come back in here and put a few diagonals in here, nailing them in. They'll be flush too, so it won't matter. Anyway, we wound up with about an 8.5 foot tall wall back here, and the front wall is going to be 9.5 foot tall. Let's check our square here in relation to our strips and studs. Don't really matter. Nobody's going to see this, but I kind of like to get everything as perfect as I can. Let's see how this looks here. Boop. Hey, that's pretty nice. Square. Let's go here. Yep. Let's go way over here. See what we got. Up, we're square. Drop down one. Look at there. Not bad. Alright, we're going to do the front wall a little bit differently. I realize not everybody has the ability to lift a whole wall by themselves. So in the spirit of me always trying to show little tricks and tips I like to do when I'm by myself, this front wall is going to be built one stud at a time. I'm not going to prefab it. I'm going to start setting the studs, sole plate, 2 end studs, throw the top plate on, then start sticking studs in one at a time. Alright friends, I might have cut out some of the footage because I didn't want to show every little detail. It's not a how-to, it's just you coming along with me for the ride. So I got my one window framed out there. Be the only window in the building, a 54 by 28. No, I didn't really do a traditional header. I know some of you, if you're a framer, you're probably like, my God, what did he do? You see what I did there? I just got 3 2x4 widths up there. What you got to understand is I'm going to be putting lateral strips across the outsides of the stud for the board and batten. And I'll probably put a 6-inch wide one on the outside of the header area. So you're going to have more than enough support. If I wasn't doing that, I would have put a traditional header in there, probably 2 or 3, a couple 2x6s and maybe something 1/2 inch in between to fur it out. These walls are about 4 inches thick. These 2x4s are actually 4 inches, because even though I say these are 6x6 posts, they're actually 5.5. I cut them 5.5 instead of a true 6. So when you got 4.5 and 1.5 inch strip on the outside, that gives you the 5.5. So that's going to be plenty strong. That'll be my one window, so I can look out and see what's going on. Now the window is center from the outside of the structure. Now from the inside, it's not going to be center when we put this wall in over here, because we're going to have a 2-foot porch area. So we're going to be 10 feet wide here. So this window is going to be more to this side in this actual room. But looking at it from the outside, it's going to be dead center of the structure. And that's what I was going for. I'll have more room in this corner to put shelving or do something over here. I won't lose that. I'll have maybe a couple feet over there when you come in the door on that side of the window. And you'll have more like 4 feet over here. But you can see how that lateral goes across and nails into that header. So I mean, that really stiffens that up. There's not going to be a problem there. Or down here, that lateral comes on across the very bottom of this window. Well friends, that's going to wrap it up for this portion of the video, part 2. I kind of wanted to get the rafters and the metal roofing on, but I try to keep my videos short sometimes. I don't want to draw them out too long. Sometimes that can be boring and you lose people's attention. So I'm going to end it here with the flooring and 2 main walls up. Now when we revisit on part 3, I will set the rafters. Of course, I'll have to cut those posts off, and we'll put the rafters metal roofing on. And as you can see, I got those diagonals through in there in different places. That's going to keep it, steady, keep it sturdy. It probably didn't even need those in there because I'm attaching to a solid structure to begin with. But it just helps, so that's just scrap material thrown in there. But I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, we'll finish it up in part 3, maybe. But we got a ways to go. There's going to be wiring. I'm going to put a sub panel in here and pull true power down here and wire everything up properly instead of running my lights on a drop cord. But I needed a place to get the sub panel out of the weather to do that. The rafters on the metal roofing, then I'll close this end wall up. I think I explained it to y'all earlier. It's going to be at an angle with the roof. So I'll build this outside wall up to meet the bottom of that outermost rafter. And then I'll set the interior wall there on the inside. And then we'll put tar paper up and start the board and batten process. But anyway, friends, I thank you for sticking around this long if you made it all the way through. Be sure to subscribe. I think I'm up to 800 subscribers by now. And I'm really thankful for all of you who's come along for the journey. I'm trying to get better and not talk so much, so hopefully I edit out a lot of talking in this video. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll cut it off here. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.